I'm not, I might make one change before we start. I'm not quite sure, like, what is this card doing in this deck, right? Like, I feel like I look at this and it's like, it's like Legion Warboss into this early, but like, we're not ramping into anything useful, right? Like, there's no payoff for the mana. Yeah, definitely, Isha. Tier 3, I'd be happy if you just put Spicy Tuna in there. I will pull up a deck list. Yeah, I think Phoenix would probably just be better. We have 15 red, so we can probably support Phoenix. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna make that swap up before we dive in here. It's OE for Phoenix, yeah. This is a card that's just like very good. I'm also gonna get a 4th Lava Coil in the sideboard, because it's just like one of the best removal spells in the format, so I think not playing a bunch of them is probably a mistake. Hasty Dino could be okay too. This card's evasive though. Evasive is really good. I'm a big fan of evasion. I'm just gonna do this. Update the stream decker real quick before we dive in. Like I said, I really wish we had the ladder so I could like play things card for card to like highlight some of the potential issues I think they're gonna have, but because we have to play at events, I need to make changes before we dive in. I have 60. I cut the 4th lightning strike. Thank you. I cut the 4th lightning strike. No, the ladder is only best of 1 at the moment. The traditional play is unranked, and the average deck quality in it is incredibly low. At least in my experience so far. It's pretty reasonable. Traditional play is completely unranked, chat. For people that are telling me I'm wrong and don't know what I'm talking about, I'm just timing you out. This is literally my job. I am informed. I understand what I am talking about. Listen, I wouldn't complain if we had Llanowar Elves on one every game. It's very good. Well, this is unranked as well, Jesse, but it has an entry fee, so some people had taken it a little bit more seriously than the completely unranked no entry fee. Immediately let the sadness and regret of putting double red cards in my deck set in. To be fair, the other 3-4 that we were playing would also be really bad here. Perfect. All right, so what am I doing? I think I want to just get Rekindling Phoenix going, right? Rather than Lightning Strike this to start. Oh, if you're interested in the white-red aggro deck that I played to the top 16 finish in the Twitch Rivals event, there is a... Oh, they could Shalai me here. Whew, not Shalai. All right. There's an article on Cool Stuff Inc. up today, which is a full sideboard guide for that deck. Alright, so this turn we need to kill this with fire. Let's get that right on out of there. Yeah, I'm not like really super worried about the landing flipping, I don't think. Especially with like another Phoenix in my hand. I have no idea if the unranked mode uses a hidden MMR. In my experience, after playing a ton of games in the unranked mode, like dozens of games, we were still getting paired into incredibly low deck quality. So my experience was that it was still creating an undesirable play experience for me. That's probably the game, right? I don't think we're going to be able to punch through that. They're going to get to start activating this next turn and just like even though this blocks it indefinitely, they're going to gain 5 and make a 4/4 every turn. So we're just done here. This application is built in Unity. There's a lot that goes into it. Like, Unity doesn't mean that you automatically get to like port everything with 0 effort though. Still a lot of work that goes into things. Yeah, Rev Allegiance hits Magic Arena on January 17th. That is correct. Yeah, I guess Vivien could have maybe pulled us back in there. Please keep in mind, you should be aware of the stream rules if you want to provide feedback in chat. It is perfectly fine and even encouraged to critique the decks that we are playing on stream, but you need to be constructive and specific with your feedback. So if you want to add a card to the deck or change a card, you should say, I think you should be playing this card and this is why. I think it's better than this other card you're already playing and this is why. Here's my best piece of advice, Iron, whenever anyone phrases a question like that. If you're thinking about the video games you're playing as investments, you're probably going to be really sad with what your investments end up doing. So if you're looking for investments, I'd recommend, I don't know, stocks or bonds or traditional investment engines. If you're looking to have fun playing a game, then I would recommend spending your money on that game in whatever way is going to give you the most enjoyment. So if you think you'd get the most enjoyment out of playing Paper Magic, then you should play Paper Magic. If you think you're going to get the most enjoyment out of playing Magic Arena, then you should put your money into Magic Arena. But I would not recommend buying into anything because it's an investment in a video game or a card game. Yay, Wildgrowth Walker! Are we done here? Goes the weasel. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. What's the best way to actually play Magic these days? Well, if your goal, it depends on what you're playing Magic for. If your goal when playing Magic is just to play lots of games of Magic, playing digitally is going to let you play a higher volume of games of Magic than playing in paper ever would. However, if you play Magic primarily as a social outlet, and you're looking to just play fun games with your friends, you're probably going to have a better time playing paper with your friends than you will playing something like Arena, most likely. But again, those metrics like that, they're just super subjective and are going to vary depending on what you're looking to get out of Magic as a game. Lots of different ways to enjoy Magic, especially in the world with the digital stuff that we're in today. So do I Rekindling Phoenix here, or do I just go Walker into Walker here? I think I just want to go Walker. Get this going ASAP. That's good. Waka. Eye-opening moment for me. Yep. And I mean, and some people enjoy playing finance games, right? So like, if you enjoy the finance aspect, there's nothing wrong with doing the finance aspect if that's your fun part. Like, there are plenty of people that their fun when it comes to games like this is playing finance games with paper and Magic Online. This Thorn Lieutenant will basically put them under the abyss very quickly. I mean, cards that grind my gears in the standard format. No, I think the standard format's got a great balance to it. And the fact that, like, in my mind, the #1 evidence that, like, this standard format is super well balanced is when you talk to different people about what they dislike or like in standard, people name tons of different things that they dislike in the standard format. Like, people can't even decide, like, what the most offensive cards are to play against, because lots of different people hate lots of different things based on their playstyle preferences, because there's just so many different powerful things you could be doing in this format. It was 10 cents an hour. That's great. Hate a lot of different Tefrees. Yeah, but like, there's people there that hate Teferi. There's people that'll tell you Carnage Tyrant's ruining the game. There's people that hate Niv Mizzet. There's people that'll tell you History of Benalia is busted and shouldn't exist. Disinformation campaign, yeah, right? Like different strokes for different folks. I think Brontodon or Reclamation Sage is stronger. I think Brontodon is much better, and the primary reason for that is its body is super relevant when your opponent doesn't have artifacts or enchantments. So like, especially in the mono red matchup, for instance, Brontodon's much better because the 3/4 is really good, and then it kills Experimental Frenzy later as well. There's some people that think Wildgrowth Walker is too good. Just lots of things are too good in this format. Sacred Foundry. We have not seen red cards out of them yet. That could have been what they were holding last game. I think Basic Island is offensive to most people. No, just to some, okay? Just to some. All right, well, we don't have another land either, but this Legion Warboss is going to run them down pretty quickly, most likely here. I suppose they could have a Shock or a Lightning Strike here to kill this before it makes tokens. Who remembers paying 6 energy to hardcast Emrakul? Yeah. Things we don't miss for 100. I got excited for turn 2 Warboss. I'm about to get Cleansing Nova. Deafening Clarion, that one, yeah, rough. Oh, this is a new matchup. This is we won the last one, right? they all kind of blur together. After a while, this definitely is a new matchup. It's fine. None of my plays are different. This is game 1 against the new opponent. It's important that we play a card that they need to counter when they have 4 mana, because I don't want them to be able to just draw 2 cards for free. That being said, we're probably pretty dead this game. It's like drawing a bunch of Shocks and Wildgrowth Walkers against the control deck is not particularly good. I'm gonna concede here because we're likely dead, and my control player manually tapping everything like a doofus is not a pleasant experience. Don't be afraid of change, chat. Use the auto tapper. The auto tapper means you no harm. It's there to improve your life, I swear. Would you take a donation to test light up the stage in Modern Burn? Sure. Seems fine. Would you talk about cards you think are more powerful at best of 1, or archetypes you think that are more favorable without boarding? I'm personally struggling to find something that feels fun and looking to shake up my headspace with some discussion. It's just aggro decks. The answer is just play crappy aggro decks. Play linear combo decks that get beat up by duress, and play aggro decks that get beat up by things that people normally sideboard. Yes, you are correct. I did still have a chance to win. So you're probably newer to the stream. For people who are new to the stream, if you're looking for a try hard, get every percentage point out of your game of Magic stream, this is not the place for you. I play Magic to have fun, and sitting there while we're likely dead and my control opponent is getting further and further ahead isn't interesting. It's just kind of miserable. So when my games stop being fun, I stop playing them and move on to the next game. This hand needs a second land. Perfect. In. That's true too. I'm also here to entertain, and sitting there while the control player is infinitely ahead is not particularly entertaining. It's like, well, this game is over and we know it's over, so like, what are we doing with our lives? Why are we here? Stop manually tapping your lands. Why do you hate efficiency? Why? We should put all the people who manually tap their lands into the same queue so they can play miserable, slow Magic Arena against each other. Good, you deserve to miss your land drop. Manually tap some more. We're halfway there. What's going on, Odes? Thanks for the 6 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. For keeping me employed here. Crimsicle Mighty, thank you very much for the brand new Prime support. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thanks for keeping me employed here. But it's mixed with full control mode and low graphics mode. I just hate people who waste time. Listen, one of the most important things you can learn is that time is your most valuable resource as a person. You can replenish lots of other resources, but you never get more time back. So anytime someone is needlessly wasting your time, they're stealing your most precious resource in the world from you. Is there a way to check out your monthly subscription date? Yeah, it's buried in the settings somewhere. It's definitely in your Twitch settings somewhere. I'm not sure exactly where, though. Man, we've been aces at this whole turn 2 Legion Warboss thing. I played Arena for some time now, and it really made my old love for TCGs come up again. I have, I believe, 2 old decks, but really old ones that don't remember much. One of them was about cards that gain bonuses. Do you think these decks will do for the start of the game? I kind of remember, generally speaking, old, like, standard decks aren't going to be very good in the new format. Like Legacy and Modern and stuff like that. The power level's just too low. Alright, so let's do X's 2 here. Interesting that they boarded in Legion Warboss. And again, there's nothing wrong. My comment about people wasting time, that block was free. Yeah, super correct. I'm talking and clicking at the same time. Again, just like the reason why we made the bad play was because I was doing too many things at once, multitasking, etc., etc. My comment about people wasting time was not made with respects to the types of decks people play. It was made with people wasting time with doing things like manually tapping. There is an important difference there. I'm attacking like this because I don't want to get Settle the Wreckage. What an incredibly efficient use of your time. All right, go. Don't Cleansing Nova me, bro. Alright, I'm not playing around a second copy of Settle the Wreckage here. I'm taking all of my creatures and pushing them across the board here. Sure. Got him. And so, like, this wouldn't be trading here if I'd have blocked this correctly when I was clicking quickly. Give another seal away. For 100% of the times my opponent has tapped lands this game, the auto tapper would have used the exact same lands that they manually tapped. They've actually just done nothing but waste time here. They're dead on board, right? This is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So let's see what they got. Got a Cleansing Nova here. Deafening Clarion. Yep. Are there ever times when the auto tapper is not optimal? No, you should always be using the auto tapper, because even when, so you see how I hold the card up here and it highlights 2 lands? Let's say you want to use lands that it's not using, you can put the card back down in your hand, and then, so see how it's using 2 forests? Let's say I want to have it use a mountain and a forest here instead. I can manually tap like that, and it'll do that. Or I don't even have to manually tap both lands. So instead of using 2 forests, if I wanted to use a mountain, I can tap just the mountain, and then it uses the mountain and the forest automatically. So again, the only reason to not use the auto tapper in Magic Arena is because you want to waste people's time. Even when it doesn't do the perfect thing, you can adjust what you're doing very easily to make it do what you need it to do. I have no idea. The logic in the auto tapper definitely isn't always perfect, but it's very easy to manipulate things into making it do what you want it to do. So I have 7, 8, 9, 10 mana, so I'm gonna go ahead and attack with both of these. I'm gonna activate this. I think I just pass here. I don't think there's any reason to play this out into a potential sweeper. I guess this plays around Clarion. Oh, I could have gotten the last point in here too. Yeah, that's a good one. I could have played this and killed this and try and lethal them this turn. But here's the thing. Even when the auto tapper doesn't work, you can still manually tap while the auto tapper is enabled. So if you want to manually tap, there's no reason to fully turn off the auto tapper. No, you have to count it. It really sucks. One of the things the UI in this application desperately needs is a max X button. That's true, but I could have made them have it there, which I think would have been fine in that situation. Like putting them dead on board and like making them have like another seal away, I think would have been fine. No, there is no history or event log in this. This application, that would also be something useful that I could have. We're doing all right. We're 2-0 so far. Temple of Tilt. Yeah, definitely. I'm always open to repeats if a deck was reasonable, especially the tiered archetypes like that, Loma. So like things that are tier 1 are basically always acceptable deck submissions, especially if you want to see a new specific configuration. So lists that are on my website are just like quick reference for my personal preferences, but I'm definitely always willing to try new things. The shock land waiting room. What a dirty cheater. Had an untapped dual land on one. Scum. Phoenix is very good in this matchup. I'll see if we'll be able to power through the Wildgrowth Walker or not, though. Does this deck get better with Stomping Ground? We'll never know. We'll just never know, really. I think I actually prefer the regular art Llanowar Elves to this one. That's super subjective, though. Feel free to differ. All the winged mythics in this game have such excellent animations. Poor Phoenix. This card is so mediocre in this matchup. Just like doesn't do anything. Is Bant Nightfall something you play on Moto? Yeah, that's fine. I'm not playing Devoted Druid decks though. So if it's the Devoted Company version, I'm gonna take a pass.
Are you certain of your decision?
I would request that you please don't spread FUD. When FUD, for people who are unfamiliar, stands for fear, uncertainty, and doubt. There are a lot of people spreading this lie or this rumor that best of one's being pushed as the only competitive format on Magic Arena. That's just not true. This current first preseason ladder season that literally gives you meaningless rewards and is basically not competitive in the slightest because you get like 5 packs worth of stuff out of it. Their ladder test season is best of one. When they announced that all competitive Magic used on Arena is going to be best of one, and the MPL is going to be best of one, and everything's best of one, and they're getting rid of best of 3, then we can talk about them pushing best of one as the only option. But right now, the fact that their ladder season is using best of one for their test, shut up. Just stop it. It's just nonsense. Like, look, I get it that you want to be upset and like rabble about something, but just like stop spreading nonsense. The Night Angels deck last night went really good, actually. What do I want to cut here? Is it Thorn Lieutenant? I think it's just Thorn Lieutenant. This card's like kind of small. Animations look smoother. The animations look fine on this end. Maybe I need to go watch some other people's streams, but the animations down here look the same as my computer upstairs, which is a Windows 10 system. Maybe check and make sure that you have the stream going in 1080. Do you have a contact line in the Deckmaster Grader because the OP's Llanowar Elves are not on the Deckmaster overlay that last game? Oh, they probably need to add some information. It should be in 60 frames a second. Pretty sure it's 60 frames a second. Oh, I am actually at 30 frames right now. Common FPS. Maybe I need to bump that up. Maybe, I think my OBS settings got reset at some point, and maybe they defaulted to 30. Stuff like that doesn't matter for Magic Online, but it definitely matters when it's an actual video game. Super punished. I do get the occasional lag spike when the bit animation comes up. I need to get that fixed at some point. Need to figure out why the browser is choking. There's definitely, I see the animation delay on my end when that happens. Need to figure out why that is. Block plus lightning strike this. Yeah, definitely Gundam. Thanks for the support. Nah, I don't really care about the Llanowar Elves stuff. So I use Lightning Strike on my Phoenix there just so I can keep it in play. Because Lightning Strike kills it, whereas the Vraska's Contempt was going to exile it. For people that were wondering why we killed our own card. Because exiling means I don't get my egg back afterwards. We're probably still in a bad spot because we really haven't drawn a lot of spells here, but for a matchup like this deck probably wishes it had copies of Experimental Frenzy in the sideboard. Like, the opponent's card quality is just much, much higher than ours on average, so having a way to kind of go over the top of what they're doing would be ideal, I think. I think they're at a high enough health total that I need to take a couple turns off and kill this Vivien. Dead. This matchup seems pretty bad for us. Our decks, my deck and my opponent's deck are doing very similar things. Their top end card quality is just much, much better than ours. Fair to say their entire curve is card quality? Kinda. I mean, like, they have cards that just, like, aren't particularly impressive, like Branchwalker and Llanowar Elves in their deck, too. Man, if this Timberland Gorge was a stomping ground, I'd keep this, because I would get to go Elf on 1 into Branchwalker on 2 and get 2 looks at the next land. But I think with the Gorge being a tap land, I have to mulligan here. I don't know what that card does. The sand is really bad. It's not even greedy, it's just bad. Making bad plays isn't greedy, it's just bad. A lot of people justify making, like, really terrible decisions with, oh, I was just greedy and got punished. Like, no, you were an idiot and got punished. Don't make bad plays. All right, I'm gonna take 30 seconds to restart Magic Arena because it's hit the point where we've been running for long enough that the audio is distorting. Yeah, software. Yep. Looks like that game's gonna be a concession anyways without a second land, so we can, it's okay if we take a timeout for a second. Onward, upward, backward, forward. Arena just wanted that base, right? Yeah, so the latest Arena update, Arena used to crash on me occasionally after it had been running for a long time, and now, instead of crashing, the audio starts distorting. Alright. They played Merfolk. Let's put a bunch of Lava Coils in my deck. Let's cut these Legion Warbosses. Yeah, it seems fine. It's not amazing, but it's fine. I love that this Rootbound Crag has a dinosaur in the background. So great. When you play in a big tournament, would you make them kill you while just passing and not getting much information? Yeah, probably. But this isn't a tournament. And it's just, like, not worth my time to, like, sit there and grind out every percentage point. Actually, I'd probably rather Branchwalker here, right? Get my Wildgrowth Walker bigger and get attacking. I don't think that's true, fake based. Like, stopping them from gaining life doesn't change the matchup dramatically. Like, it just stops their Wildgrowth Walker from gaining health, and it's just, like, doesn't matter. No, I don't really enjoy playing Magic as best of 1. Magic has a lot of variance even when it's best of 3, so making it even higher variance by making it best of 1 isn't something that I would enjoy doing. I'm gonna snap this trade off here if they offer it. Trade with me, baby. So far, I feel like this deck has a lot of parallels to the green-red Dino Frenzy deck we'd played a little bit before previously, while missing some of the top-end power that Experimental Frenzy gives you to kind of go way over the top of the opponent. Thoughts on Warboss? Warboss is pretty mediocre. I feel like there's enough creature-based decks in this format right now that just, like, block the 1/1s and don't care, that it just, like, has pretty big diminishing returns. Yeah, Magic, a lot of the variance reduction in Magic comes from the fact that you have sideboards and have best of 3 and like multiple people get to start in the play. Yeah, Warboss is a pretty unimpressive card. I don't know, probably. I don't have any inside information with Wizards of the Coast. They don't tell me things because I stream Magic. I personally would really like it if we had a best of 3 ladder at some point. Yeah. It's funny too, like people express frustration with Hearthstone being best of 1, and Hearthstone has a lot less variance than Magic the Gathering in it. Like the amount of variance Magic adds by having resource variance is an absurd amount. Woof. All right, killed their lord at least. We have a timeout emote. We literally have a Dunscap emote right there. Already exists. Yes, that's also true. Hearthstone is designed with best of 1 in mind. They did mention that they were starting to design Magic cards with some best of 1 in mind, but it definitely has a lot of... Magic has a lot of different things to fill and boxes to tick. Sure, they have to put variants directly into Hearthstone cards, because if Hearthstone cards didn't have the word random printed directly on them, Hearthstone would have very, very little to no variance between how small the decks are and the lack of resource variance in the game. Yeah, I'm gonna be done. I'm gonna take a draw step here and see if we draw Lightning Strike, but I'm pretty off this deck. It feels, I think this kind of archetype obviously is gonna get better with Stomping Ground, but I think in general what this deck is trying to do, it's a much worse mid-range deck than green-black mid-range is, and without something like Experimental Frenzy like the Dino Frenzy deck had, I really feel like this deck just doesn't have a good way to go over the top of what these other decks are doing. So like, we're not super aggressive, and our mid-range matchup leaves a lot to be desired. Yeah, I agree. I feel like without Experimental Frenzy to go over the top in a unique way, this deck is just doing something that's just like worse than what the green-red the green-red Frenzy deck that we played was doing. So if you're interested in playing a green-red mid-range deck, I would recommend taking a look at the green-red Dino Frenzy deck that we played a couple of times on stream in the past. You can find videos of that on my website and my YouTube channel, of course. I'm gonna keep moving right along here. So we got two more decks I want to get through before we wrap up today. We got Black, Red, Awakening.